Have you ever experienced a conversation with somebody where they said a specific word and it unlocked something for you? I recently had a conversation with an elder and it helped me to undo some of the old patterning and the old programming that was standing in the way of my success. So, what was the word that the elder used? Well, I'll tell you. The word was authenticity. Why is this word so important and what did it unlock for me? Well, first of all, this word is super important because a lot of us will have this idea in our minds that we need to be good and we need to avoid being bad. So I'll actually put that as positive and negative. We need more good and we need less bad. And I have absolutely fallen into this trap. I've also taught this before to others, and I think to some degree, if you're teaching from a masculine, rational perspective, it makes sense to do more good and do less bad in your life. But there is something that is sort of, if you were to look at this like a scale per se, right? Or like a pendulum, you have a pendulum swinging on a wire, and this is the whole possible scope of where it can swing, right? And you have good over here and you have bad over here. Both are necessary, right? Like these are two sides of the same experience. And we can basically, if we're in the good over here, then when bad things happen, we might possibly like repress the bad parts of ourselves, right? We might like suppress bad parts, repress it, not be okay with bad things happening, right? And when bad things happen, we'll wish that we were back in the good. So there's like this, it's not even, it's not balanced. It's sort of you're at one side of the polarity or you're at the opposite. And authenticity, we'll just put it here, is the key that bridges the gap, that brings you back into the middle, and it sets you free from feeling like a savior or feeling like a victim. Authenticity basically says that it doesn't matter what you do or how you do it as long as you are being true to yourself. And it's basically saying that truth inevitably is more beneficial for the world versus, we will say, projection. So projection would be like projecting a specific image of who you are, of how you want to show up. It is sort of like acting, or it would also be considered like manipulation, right? And so the authentic truth of who you are will always be better than any projections that you might send out to the world of being either this overly good person who only does good and has no wrong within them. And I'm sure you've heard of people like this who think they're always right. Like Donald Trump is a great example of always being right. And then you have the people who are in the victim mentality, who maybe are indulging in, you know, negative behaviors, and they would say that like they are a victim of the addictions that they have, and that's not really true, right? Like they're choosing to do this and they have shame around it, and that shame causes them to continue to do it, and it's this whole cycle that occurs. So if we want to avoid some of these things from happening, then the key is authenticity. So the next piece to this is basically understanding how we can actually become more authentic. And there is a number one key that makes authenticity possible and makes it sustainable, and that is self acceptance. So, self acceptance is absolutely beautiful, because it basically says that I am okay with the unique person that I am with all my quirky attributes. So I want you to just take a second as I'm talking about this and feel what that feeling feels like. If it's possible. If it's not possible for you at this time, of course that's okay. And this might just be something that you want to work towards. But if you are feeling capable of even a little bit of self-love and acceptance, doesn't have to be all the way to love, but just self-acceptance. Keyword here is okay. Feel what it feels like to be okay right now, without needing anything to change, without needing anything to be different, without needing you to be something different than you are, but just feel okay with yourself. So to me, that feeling, we'll just put over here some of the attributes of that feeling. It feels like comfort, feels like ease, it feels very light, and it feels very freeing. So if you're feeling any of these things, then you are well on your way to self-acceptance, and through self-acceptance you are well on your way to authenticity. But the other aspect of this is your uniqueness. So there's a sort of push within our society. I'll do this over here. Where we'll say it's uniformity. So everybody basically acting the same way. Everybody is the same. And I'm just going to draw a little diagram, and we'll put like a bunch of dots here. These are all the people in society. They're all the same. And it's very herd mentality like. And within that, there's this beautiful green dot. Hopefully you can see the green. But in reality, some people would like society to look like this. And the society that I would prefer to be a part of, and so many others would prefer to be a part of, is one that is more like this. And the squiggles. Some people are long, some people are short, some people are fat, some people are skinny, some people are tall, some people have squares and straight lines, and some people have curved lines. And this is more or less the way things should be. If people were behaving like their authentic selves, their quirky selves, their unique selves, this is what society would be. It would be everybody has the proper space that they need to be who they are. Everybody is comfortable with being who they are, and everybody somehow fits together in this beautiful way, even though all of the pieces are unique, rather than all of the pieces being the same, and therefore you're almost to some degree lacking certain aspects of what society would benefit from because the pieces aren't there. You know, like this is one of the reasons why we have so many problems in society. Imagine if you had like 100,000 firefighters and like zero doctors, right? It wouldn't necessarily be good. And this is where society is at right now. We have this choice. Do you conform and do you become uniform, or do you express your unique, authentic self and find your true place in the world? And this is the path, authenticity, or here would be like conformity, right? So the difference being here, to some degree or another, it feels like entrapping. You have to fit into a box, and then within that box is smaller boxes that you have to fit into. And here, there are no lines to which you cannot cross. I'll literally mess up the whole board just for the sake of demonstrating that it's okay. Anything is accepted and welcome as long as you basically do not harm others, as long as you are within the scope of the divine guidance that you're receiving, and you're not just like randomly behaving unique or quirky just for the sake of it, but you're doing it because like it feels good because you're being guided to do so. So this is the way to authenticity. This is a little bit about what authenticity feels like. And I say all this because it was so freeing for me to have that conversation with the outer the other day, because I personally have placed a ton of pressure on myself to show up and be a certain way, and expecting my videos to be a certain way, and expecting just my life to be a certain way. And it wasn't authentic to me. It was authentic to my ego, or it was authentic to my programming, but it was not authentic to my soul. And this has been the thing that's been holding me back from progress and from growth and from showing up authentically. And authentic is the only way that I want to show up, because it doesn't feel good for me to show up any other way at this point in my life. So if you want more authenticity in your life, and you want to also feel okay with being who you are, the unique, beautiful person that you are with unique, quirky attributes, then this is your roadmap to success. And I pray for many of you that your path is one that looks like this. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. My name is John. It's been an absolute pleasure. I am a wellness professional, and I do have online communities where basically we gather regularly for social events and stuff like that. So you can check out in the link in my bio all that stuff. If you like this video, then subscribe for more, and you'll see all sorts of weird, fun, quirky videos coming out shortly. So thank you all, and have a beautiful rest of your day.